Okay, great weather again today, and it is Game 7 of the Stanley Cup playoffs between the Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers. Let's see what happens. If we win, lots of celebration. If we lose, who knows? Lots of riots. And what did I read today? Lots of news apparently about the president of Iran passing away because of a helicopter crash. And with that, a lot of people were using drones to try to assess the situation or potentially try to find people who survived. This one says, Iran helicopter crash, drone footage shows horrific wreckage after President Ebrahim Raisi's death. From the looks of some of the pictures and so forth, it seemed like it was really foggy and all that. It didn't seem like ideal flying conditions. This one says, drone footage has shown the extent of the wreckage of a helicopter crash in which Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi was killed. The country's foreign minister and other officials were also on the chopper, which crashed in mountainous northwestern Iran on Sunday. Raisi, 63, became president in 2021 and has been infamous for institutionalizing a brutal crackdown on dissent. Raisi was understood to be returning on Sunday after traveling to Iran's border with Azerbaijan to inaugurate a dam with Aliyev when the crash happened. Drone footage over the foggy and mountainous crash site shows the destruction of the blue helicopter with the tail section the only clear piece of wreckage. The scene is over a steep valley in a green mountain range some 12 miles south of the Azerbaijan-Iranian border on the side of the mountain. In the footage, soldiers speaking in the local Azeri language said, "There it is, we found it." Now they did use more sophisticated drones too, and there was various videos posted on it. This one says Turkey's Akinci UAV identifies source of heat suspected to be crash site of Iranian president's helicopter. A Turkish Akinci unmanned aerial vehicle identified a source of heat early Monday suspected to be the wreckage of a helicopter carrying Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi and shared its coordinates with Iranian authorities. After the helicopter carrying Raisi crashed, the Turkish Ministry of National Defense assigned the Akinci UAV and a Cougar-type helicopter with night vision capabilities to participate in search activities. Iranian state television reported that the accident occurred when Raisi's helicopter made a hard landing while returning from the region. So as evident, they eventually found it, but what was kind of weird too was apparently after, going to the area, the drone kind of flew to make a diagram. Like this one says, Turkish drone drew star and crescent after finding helicopter. After hours searching for the Iranian president's helicopter, drones sent from Turkey found it early in the morning in the northwest Iran. On the way back to its base in Turkey, the Akinci drone used its flight map to draw a crescent and a star, which are seen on the Turkish flag. The Turkish state-run news agency AA said hundreds of thousands of people watched the route of the drone live on Flight Radar 24 application. The same agency released a video of the drawing. Turkey has been focusing on drone production for more than a decade. Yeah, so that's kind of weird, isn't it, to draw a diagram like that in terms of a flight pattern? But either way, I guess the biggest concern too is, was there any foul play in this situation? Or was it just, for example, poor decision making in terms of whether it's the pilot flying in that condition? Was it bad maintenance, for example? Because you can imagine if this was done intentionally by someone, this could mean war, for example, correct? But with that thought, in terms of, trying to find who's to blame, apparently there were reports of people were blaming the US already, which is kind of weird in this sense anyways. This one says, XFM Zarif, US sanctions responsible for deadly copter crash. So by the sounds of it here, they're potentially blaming things like sanctions on why they can't get, let's just say, quote, good quality parts to repair, or maintain the helicopter, which I don't see how that's a good argument in this case anyways. But it says, and the cruel sanctions against Iran were part of the difficult conditions that the Islamic Republic successfully overcame, he added. One of the causes of this heartbreaking incident is the United States, which by sanctioning the sale of the aviation industry to Iran caused the martyrdom of the president and his companions. And the US's crime will be recorded in the minds of the Iranian people and the history, Zarif said. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good argument overall in terms of saying they sanctioned us and we can't have parts that will enable us to, let's just say, maintain like the helicopter and all that. If anything, you shouldn't be flying if it's unsafe and so forth, correct? But who knows what will happen in this case, because again, people are trying to find somebody to blame, and it could actually result like in a war and all that. All right, see you guys later.